Alright, this is I. So this week I'm going to demonstrate you a new plugin called Wavesfactory TrackSpacer. Here I have a song that I quickly put together for this demonstration, so let's check it out. I don't know Channel 6, there is April O'Neil. I don't care about the news, I am here just for you. And I love when she smiles, she brightens up my day. And I love when she smiles, she brightens up my day. Alright, so that is the mix. So let's check out the mixer, so what we have here. As we can see, there is not much here, so there is only compressors and high pass filter and vocals have this sort of curve. Anyway, so let's begin and demonstrate the plugin itself. I'm using the VST3 version, and for some reason it doesn't have the bypass. I notified Wavesfactory about this, and they said that they will fix it in the next version or something like that. Anyway, so it basically is a sidechain plugin that you feed another sound source to the sidechain, and it makes an EQ curve of the opposite directions. So for example, here I have the bass amp track, so let's listen to that. And here I have the bass DI track and blended. Alright, so first what we'll do is that we will just use a send from the DI track to the bass amp, and let's see what happens. This is a high pass. Well, I would say that it's a low pass, but if you think it's a high pass, it lets all the highs through. So let's put this so that it only affects the low end of the track. So and without it. So the thing is that when you have only one thing covering the low end, you get more defined low end, which is really good for especially something like bass. So let's try it again. Alright. So that is how it sounds in the bass track. Then another classic version is to do the sidechain kick to the bass. So let's take the bass DI and we find it under Dynamics and TrackSpacer. We'll do the same thing. We activate the sidechain, and from the kick we will send to the bass DI, and let's solo those two. And here we once again see that it mostly has energy around this area, so we'll just use the high pass there. I would guess that it's around 200-300 Hz. Maybe a bit too aggressive, so let's try different attack settings. Alright, and let's try it in context so we'll know actually if we are taking it too much or not enough. I don't know Channel 6, there is April O'Neil. I don't care about the news, I am here just for you. And I love when she smiles, she brightens up my I think it sounds alright now. So then another place where we can use this to tame something is that I have a lead here that I used as my vocal guide when I was playing the song. But the thing is that it also plays during the part where there is no vocals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sidechain the main vocal to this lead line. So let's do that. So let's take the TrackSpacer. And from the lead vocals we will send to that sidechain. Alright, so let's see. And we are mostly interested in the like 1 to 6K area, so let's put the high pass around there. And yep. That might be a bit too much, so let's put it a bit lower because I could hear the ducking. Alright. Then another place where we can use it is that if we put the guitars to another group, so let's do that, one stereo group, and let's route that to the instruments where it's already going. So let's take those two guitars and make them go there, so guitars. And from the vocal bus, which is here, we will route that sidechain to the guitars so that it will only affect the center of the panorama, and so that in the sides there is still space. So let's do that. So our TrackSpacer is here. Let's turn on the sidechain, and from the vocal bus let's send to sidechain guitars. And from the panel here we set the sidechain mode to MS, and we pan it all the way to mono instead of stereo. Alright. But I actually think that I need to make the compression on the vocals just a bit tighter. Anyway. But now it's of course a bit too loud, so. And without this on the guitar bass. It's very subtle if you keep the ratio quite low. Basically what the ratio does is that it's not blending between the two, it's just affecting the amount that it's, I would say compressing, but because this is an EQ, it's not compressing, it's just making the gain go down. Let's see where else we could use it. Well, the other place that where we could use it is in the instrument bus, and we send from the vocals. So this one also has to be very subtle, otherwise it will sound very, very nasty. So let's use it on the instrument bus, and let's use it on the left-right mode and set the attack and release to very fast. So we don't want to hear the pumping. So, and let's set the high pass to say 8K and low pass to, I don't know, 500-ish, something like that. And let's send from here to sidechain instruments.
Untitled Chapter, there is April O'Neil.
As you hear what I meant, that you can get the pumping really noticeable with this easily. So let's turn it down and see where it is subtle enough.
Untitled Chapter, there is April O'Neil. I don't care about the news, I am here just for you. And I love when she smiles, she brightens up my day. And I love when she smiles, she brightens up my day.
Yeah, so we can do a lot of damage if we overdo this thing. So be very careful with this. Alright, so here is my final demonstration. So I'm going to turn on and off TrackSpacers. So I put a TrackSpacer on the reverb coming from the vocals, and on the guitars it's coming from the bass DI. So
Untitled Chapter, there is April O'Neil. I don't care about the news, I am here just for you. And I love when she smiles, she brightens up my day. And I love when she smiles, she brightens up my day.
So as we can hear, it makes it just a tad quieter, but it makes it more defined, especially on the transient heavy stuff like the bass and the kick. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick demonstration. If you have any questions or comments, please write them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching and make good music.